Hello friends, Leslie here, and welcome to today's version of, the thought walk with me. I'm doing my big 5-mile walk down here on the beaches of sunny California. Again, that's in quotes, hasn't been sunny since I've been here, and we're supposed to get like 5 days of solid rain, which is crazy. But anyway, as I was walking today, I'm in the middle of a moment where I'm having to make some pretty big decisions in my life. And they're hard decisions, and I'm sure you have been there as well, where you're like, man, this is a big decision. Sometimes they feel like make or break decisions. Sometimes they are really smaller than we realize we are, and then we feel like we're making it much bigger than it actually is. But I've got some decisions that are actually some make or break decisions, and so I wanted to kind of guide you through the process that I do when I'm in the process of making those kind of decisions, and hopefully this will be helpful to you as well. So one of the things is I'm a big believer in what's my instantaneous reaction, is noticing what's my instant reaction to something. And a lot of times the instant reaction is two things. It can either be total ego, the instant reaction is an ego play, but the other side of it is sometimes that very first reaction has truth in it. There's some truth in it. And so being able to notice and recognize what is just the ego getting in the way and an instant yes or a no to something because that's just your initial reaction. But to also notice, okay, why did I react that way, and be able to break that down. So that's number one. Second of all, I feel like when we have decisions to make, usually it's an A and a B. It's like this side sounds good and this side has some pros and cons and this side has some pros and cons. And we write those down. Some of you might actually get in your notebook and write them all down. And the reality is, when you are in the middle of what I call the gray area of indecision, everything is confusing. And the minute we actually make a decision, we make a decision that moves us forward, that actually gives us another decision. Because the reality is, when you make a decision, it's not one decision. It's going to now lead to tons and tons of other big decisions or small decisions in your life. So to know that whenever you're making a decision, that you can make a small decision in one direction and have success, because then right after that will come another decision. The other thing to think about is often we put off making a decision because it's just like we don't want to deal with it. That's never good. We don't want to not make decisions because we don't want to face it. But there are times when you need to press pause on making the decision because A, you don't have all the information. B, you're really not ready to make it yet. And that's a different kind of conversation to say, hey, I know we're on the precipice of a huge decision. I'm not ready to make it yet because I don't have all the information. So to know that, sorry, there was a car walking by or driving by. Had to make sure he saw me. So when you are in that process of making a tough decision, just know that sometimes simply pressing pause so you have a moment to think about it, as opposed to, hey, we've got to decide this by this 24 hours. And if you're not ready to do that, you can always say, I need another 24 hours. I need another 2 weeks. I need whatever it is. And then another decision will be made on top of that. So it is totally okay to say, I'm not ready to make this decision yet. And that's okay. And for the other person receiving that, it might not be okay for them. And then they're going to make another choice and another decision. But for you, you've got to control the things that you are in control of. So if you are in the middle of having to make some big decisions, which most likely you are, especially because as we're about to enter a new year, and you might be thinking about your New Year's resolutions, which I think New Year's resolutions are crap. I'd much rather have you go through what I call my Jumpstart 2026 program, because it helps you reflect on this year before you layer on other goals on top, and then come up with really clear set amount of goals that you want to achieve in 2026, and then a detailed plan on how you're going to get there. If you're interested in that, I'm actually right now it's $50 off. That means you're getting the lowest price that I've ever offered it, which I offered for my Black Friday specials back in around Thanksgiving time. So I want you to go to the show notes, and you can click on that, the link in my bio. And then you could also just go to unstoppablycreative.com/Jumpstart 2026. Hopefully you'll jump on in. And it's on demand, so you don't have to show up at a certain time. You take it as you want. It's the live recordings of the 3-day event, and you'll be able to do it at your own time and get those all pumped out before you get into January. But again, back to decision making. Decision making until you make one, you are always stuck in what I call the gray areas of indecision. And that is where all the drama and the trauma is. The stewing is way worse than the doing. And so you have to make a decision in some direction, even if it's, like I said, press pause. I can't make this decision right now. I need more information, because having more information will always help you get to a better decision. Let's see, is that all the things I want to tell you about making decisions? Well, put in the comments if you're listening and watching. Put in the comments and say if you have a question. Maybe I can take some live questions while I'm walking. I'm trying really hard to not step in any dog droppings along the strand here. But if you have something you want to say in the comments, maybe I can answer it live. But decision making has always been it's always an interesting thing, and it can be as difficult and as easy as you make it. A lot of times our emotions make it more difficult than it needs to be. And so as you're making a decision in your life, take out the emotion. Just like, boom, take out the emotion, put the emotion over there, and then look at it from a very reasonable, logical fashion. So that's what I have to say about decisions. I hope one of your decisions will be jumping into my Jumpstart before the end of the year, because it's on demand. You can take it whenever you want. You haven't missed a thing. You'll get a big old discount. So I hope you've enjoyed this thought walk. I've enjoyed being with you, and I'll probably see you tomorrow morning as I do this all again. All right, have a wonderful, wonderful holiday season, and look forward to chatting with you again. Have a great one. Bye-bye.